Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am DM Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today I'm doing a box opening of The Adventures of Indiana Jones. This was a TSR RPG that was put out in 1984. It's not a game that I played back then, but once again, the completionist in me, I want to make sure that I have all of the TSR box sets, in my library, and so this was yet another one of those that I wanted to get my hands on. Um, the second reason why I really wanted this was that even though I hadn't played it back then, it was recently described to me as having the best car chase mechanics amongst all of the old school RPGs that were out there. And since I was at the time writing an adventure for Gangbusters Basic Edition, uh, and I was talking to the developer of that game about doing a car chase, he had mentioned this. And so even though it was quite a while and I kind of tweaked my own little car chase in that game adventure, I decided that, I certainly wanted to pick this up in order to include in the future a very good car chase sequence in any upcoming game. So without further ado, let me switch to full screen and start showing you the actual box opening. So here we have the box set, and as you can see, and the seller was right up front right away. He was like, "Do you want me to tape any of the box for you before I ship it?" Because the box itself does have this tear down the center, and it's needed some taping on the inside and such. And since I have no intention of reselling this, I wasn't that concerned about it. But other than that, I mean, the box is here, and it is going to sit on my shelf regardless. So we have that there. Now, the main reason why I picked up this one is this right here. So it has its original dice and crayon in the package, and believe it or not, more so than the condition of the box, if I were looking to resell this, the fact that it has its original dice and its original crayon is something that you normally don't see in a box set. Certainly not one going back to the early 1980s. So here we have the rule book, and as I always like to do, I kind of like to do the flex test and see, if there's any kind of, you know, indication of how much it was used. And this one here was not used very much at all. You can see it's still pretty much intact, and actually the corners and everything on the rule book is essentially unused. Um, I'm not familiar with this system at all. Like I said, I never played it before, but I'm looking at the attributes, and it looks like everything is on the D100 scale here. And there's a check results, damage, instinct, and appeal. I'm certainly going to learn about that, but I'm going to take a deeper look at the actual gameplay in a future video. So this is just doing a box opening. So very happy with that. This here is Indiana Jones, The Temple of Doom Adventure Pack. And here we have that here. And here is the inside. And here, I guess, is the counters if you chose to actually cut them out and and use them. Thankfully, we have color copiers, and we can do that without actually destroying the whole thing. So, yeah, so here's the referees information. So now we have some of these 3D figure panels. And again, none of them cut. So that is really, really important because, like I said, you could just make copies of it now and cut out the copies. All right, so this is the Game Master's screen, or at least one of them. And we have attribute modifiers, a list of luck and bad breaks, action results, equipment, scatter for scatter damage, I guess, foot movement, vehicle movement, accident, table. So that will come in for the vehicle chase and combat system, I'm assuming. We have another unpunched, uncut. So very, very useful there. We have another. It certainly does seem to be complete. And so we have a world map and then a playboard side here. The RPG GA sign-up sheet. So that is intact. We have the evidence file. And this is apparently handouts and NPCs and such. NPC character sheet. So the Indiana Jones Temple of Doom Adventure Pack. So this was supposed to be inside that other. So inside here. So I will put these together. And the full adventure. And what we have here, the from the movie itself, character cards and such. So that's complete. We have Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Fairly large map here. Yeah, so this is a fairly large map. And this goes, I guess, in with this as well. So let me sort these out a little bit. I'm going to put the Roleplay Association. And then here's the bottom box. And the bottom box is just the corners are taped in a few spots and everything. But like I said, the box itself is not a major concern for me. I'm not quite sure what order I will put these things in. Obviously, the Temple of Doom stuff is this evidence for... I guess this is just for a generic. So we will put all of this in here. I certainly do intend to play this and give it a shot. And like I said, I am going to go through, there's an introductory adventure that comes in the gameplay book as well, along with this. And so there we have a complete box set. And it certainly does look complete. That, I paid, including shipping and handling and tax and everything, about $60 for this. So I'm Might be a little bit on the higher end um, for the box sets, other than the fact that this one actually has the original dice and crayon, which you normally don't see. So I'm very happy with the fact that those were there, and I'm not upset at all with the price. So for $60, I've pretty much added another major component to my TSR box set collection. I do have one more coming up, and I'm gonna save that for later. I'll actually switch views here. And so, once again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Um, I always enjoy doing box sets where I'm doing an opening on camera and just showing you what I was able to find on eBay, because every once in a while you find some real gems out there, and you find some pretty decent bargains out there. I don't think I've ever been disappointed with anything that I've gotten that was really below my expectations when I purchased things. So, and that's a good shout out to the vendors that I've purchased things from. Usually have very good interaction between myself and vendors anytime that I've contacted them, or they've contacted me. Like this one, for instance, he came right out and said, "Hey, this box is a little battered. I know it says it there too, but do you want me to tape it up for you?" And I was like, If you feel that it would get here safer if you tape it up, then fine. I'm not really that concerned about it. I could always tape it up myself, but yeah, he did a fine job putting it together, and that was a good interaction. And so I'm certainly going to give him pluses for communicating as well. So yeah, I mean, these older games, you can still find them out there. Um, I would prefer to buy a box set for $60 and get the original to put on my shelf than to spend $20 or so to get a PDF that's put out by Wizards of the Coast. Um, and the reason being is that it's just, there's no substitute for having the original, number one, and number two, it's just, if the money is not going to the original authors and artists and editors and such, then I'd rather buy it third party. That's just my own personal thing, and so just keep on looking out there if you're trying to get original stuff, because it is out there. And every once in a while, it takes time sometimes to find that right bargain for yourself, but they are out there. So just keep on looking. And I don't mind that you start doing that now, because I'm almost done with mine, and so we're not in direct competition with each other. So good luck for you out there in completing um, completing your collections as well. So once again, give the video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section there. If you have any games that you'd like for me to take a look at in the future, please leave them there as well. Um, if there's any anyone that runs this game, I would love to be a player, and anybody who's still actively running this game. I only just recently joined a an Indiana Jones like fan club on Facebook, and I'll see if I can drum up some interest in someone putting together a game, and hopefully I can join into it and see how the game actually works out. Maybe I'll get to do a car chase, participate in a car chase. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. And just have fun collecting, have fun gaming, and have fun bringing new players to the RPGs that we really do remember and love from back in the, I call it the golden age of RPGs, is the 1980s. I think that it was across the board probably the best time to be involved in the role playing game hobby. And so, just my personal, belief on it, but I'll stand by that and say that that was the golden age of the hobby. So, take care, stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen sometime soon. Have a good evening.